Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome. It's the first streaming podcast with the ladies, Erica, Susan, Eva. It's all about health and wellness, all about the newest that's out there in today's world, and there is so much. It's the Wild West in skincare and health. Who knows what? You watch TikTok and it's overwhelming. A lot of it is not real. A lot of it is just trendy, and we're here to try to talk through that, find what actually might work for you. Everybody's different, obviously, but we're going to try to peel away the onions and give you some insight into what actually is real and what is not real. And this is stuff that you may not hear everywhere else, because this is stuff that's very traditional. This is stuff that typical doctors aren't going to tell you. Pharmaceutical companies aren't going to tell you. Why aren't they going to tell you? Because it doesn't cost $80,000 a year to figure this stuff out, because it's been around since before English was a language in a lot of cases. So, with that, introduce yourselves, ladies. Erica McIlroy. Huzzah.
Hello, I'm Erica McIlroy. I'm the owner of Heiress and Heiress Retreats, and also Heiress Productions. I'm so excited to be here today with the Kerschbaumers from esSpa, and with Dr. Susan Amorose, who has a wonderful practice here at Heiress, and we're here at our podcast studio, so can't wait to start our conversation with Scott today.
Thank you, Erica. I'm Susan Amorose, and I'm a doctor of clinical Qigong and also a certifying Reiki master, and I offer therapeutic practice under my name here at Heiress, as well as teach studio classes to the general public and offer instructional certification and therapeutic certifications.
Hello, everybody. I'm Eva Sztupka-Kerschbaumer, and I own esSpa in Aspinwall, really close to this amazing establishment, by the way. I'm a master esthetician, and I think our business is probably like 22, 23 years. It's been a wonderful ride. I enjoy it, and thank you for letting us to come in and do this amazing little podcast.
We're thrilled to have you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
So grateful for you to be here.
And there's my other sidekick over there.
As I say, yeah, sidekick. My official title is husband of the owner, so I just do what she tells me. So I am not my own man. I am her guy. So with that in mind, the best thing to start, I think, is and we've known each other for a long time, but this really went to a new level last year. You guys put together a retreat out in Palm Springs, and we're on a list, I guess. Get on a list, people.
Yeah, you're going to get on the list.
You know, actually, getting on a list. I will say one thing about the way the internet has opened things up. There's nothing wrong with getting on lists, because it opens you up to getting information, and there's nothing wrong with getting information. The trick about it is just don't take it for granted. Read everything and then think about it and run it through your own filter. But getting more information is always better, I think, because you can compare and contrast. So just as a thing, if you see those little subscribe buttons come up, subscribe to whatever you want to. You can always block it later, but getting a lot of information is never a bad thing. So we got this information about your retreat. Was it the inaugural one that was last year, or have you been doing this for a while? Or
We have been doing it for a while. Before the pandemic, Susan and I used to do a lot of mini retreats. So we would do some corporate wellness in the community. We'd go to places, law firms to do wellness
Just
fairs.
the two of you? Or
We would bring a group.
No, usually a large group.
awesome.
Yes.
the circus has come to town.
We would bring all kinds of different practitioners, massage, physical therapists, and we would set up wellness fairs, and we did lunch and learns and massage and yoga and all kinds of things. So little mini retreats. And that kind of, when the pandemic happened, everybody was kind of forced to go inside. So then we recreated ourselves and did webinars and that kind of thing that a lot of people did. Live streams, that kind of, Susan would do her Qigong on live stream. And when we started to be able to bring back people into our studio, we realized how much people really missed not being together and wanted that interaction. So we thought, let's take this to the next level and let's do overnight retreats. Now, the first one really was not with necessarily Green Heiress, but Susan and a couple of people did one in Seven Springs, very intimate retreat that I attended as a guest.
Yes.
Fabulous. I love the intimacy of it, and we learned so much. We all got very close in a very short time. Let's take this on the road.
Yeah.
So we,
You had that, you laid that. I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm just going to leave that out there. And, okay.
So the one that you went to would have been our third retreat.
Yeah.
And that was our third.
There's the charm.
Yes.
Right? There you go. So Ava and I went on this retreat. She didn't even know I signed us up for the retreat when we signed up for the retreat. And then I told her, as I'm wont to do. So kind of like this podcast and a variety of other things.
Yes.
In fact, she probably wouldn't have her own spa if I wouldn't have just decided to open a spa.
Very much true.
Because she is very much a hard worker, and she is.
I like to just do behind the scenes. It's hard for me to. You're amazing at that and creative, and I'm just always.
And
I'm
you know what
fine
the
with
neat
that.
thing is about that? She's really good in front of the camera and really good as the face of it too. She just doesn't think she is. So while you're out there, your comments, give her a little boost here for any of them, and let them know what you think of them, because I'm fine in my own skin. I don't need comments on me, but certainly Eva and everybody else comment. Let's get some chat going, whatever. But so I signed up for this retreat. We've never been to Palm Springs. Always heard about it. Bob Hope and all the, Fred Astaire and everybody, Bing Crosby and whoever in Palm Springs forever. Get there, do all this. Didn't know what to expect. And you work so hard, so you can come at it from somebody who's always working, which is kind of the concept for the people that are out there watching, thinking about retreats. You never take time off. You're always working. It's not a long time. It's only a few days. And what was your experience?
For me, it gave me a little bit of anxiety because it was so luxurious sounding. And I thought, but I'm supposed to work. And then, I'm supposed to be working. I'm taking care of me. Like, wait a minute. People are relying on me. And I moved. Clients were really gracious, and they moved their time around with me. And first of all, the airport itself, it was like so being cool. And
it's the most interesting airport I've ever been. It's like an outdoor airport, but not a little like field airport. It's it's very strange. It's a very weird airport. It's cool, but it's
in a good way.
It's like an airport that time forgot.
Yes,
it is.
Right?
Yes, that's a really good way to
put it. And the setting that you chosen was very amazing. The decor, the little villas, and it was just took my breath away. I love details, so I just was taking everything in, and your attention to details of, the information and what you feel comfortable in, what you should be bringing, and just when to arrive and what to do when you arrive. It was just very, very comforting, and I really appreciated that. And the people who were there, just by us walking in, the smile and hello, and who are you guys? And, let me show you your villa. It was so easily just ease me in, like, this is what we're doing. Just forget about the spa a little bit. This is your time, and take it in. It was just that easy, and it was amazing.
Wow, I love to hear your feedback.
Yeah.
I was so excited. You were talking about lists. When I looked on the list and saw that you both signed up last year, I'm like, is that like Scott and Eva Kerschbaumer, or is it a different Kerschbaumer? Wow, they're coming to our retreat. I was so moved and excited.
Complimented.
Yes.
Well, it'd be spa goers, from Istanbul, all the fancy spas to Milan, and we experienced it. But your retreat, it just spoke to me a little bit. Never went with professionals on our field, and that was just like, wait, what? Or are we just going to do this together, and we're going to learn from each other and experience and really sharing? And that really, it needs to be. That's what I told you last time. Like, it needs to be bigger and promoted more. And people need to come, because this was so recharging. Just us walking on that amazing landscape, you just have these ideas coming to your head. And then I got inspired by you guys, just by the yoga session itself. Which is like amazing that, the sun rising, and here we are all together, and little chilly, but it was just cool, and it was cool. It was very cool.
Well, I'm so
And the
happy.
food.
Oh, the food.
The food, the complete health consciousness, that was really good.
Mhm.
And very detailed by you. Like, you took it to the level that I haven't had food like that in a long time. No, and she's amazing.
Yes.
And wow, all I have to say is wow.
A little shout out to Farmer Baker on that
Yes,
one.
it
But
was.
as one of the only guys that was there, it's great to go on retreats with lots of women because they don't eat as much, but they're preparing enough food for all the people, and then the women don't eat as much, which allows me to come along and consume the rest of the food. So as a food
It's a
consumer,
great strategy.
in terms of quantity,
Yeah, look, I never
wonderful,
thought that he would think that way.
fantastic. Yes.
Wow. Well, I'm so happy you enjoyed it so much because I do know, since I do come to your esSpa and get facials, best facials ever anywhere.
Oh, you're fine.
Agreed.
Thank you so much.
I am so happy to hear that it was reciprocated and that you were able to take time and really have your self-care moment
Yeah.
with us. So that really warms my heart. And I'm glad you liked all the details because we do spend a lot of time with details and preparation.
Our events are very front loaded. We curate an environment within an environment, and Erica has gone to great pains investing in that specific area of Palm Springs, and to find scapes, if you will, that
Yeah.
really speak to mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
And where people can let go of not only cold weather, because we typically like to be out there in the winter and away from what Pittsburgh may be offering us at that time, but also giving people a real shift. And I think in that kind of climate and in that kind of designed space, people have an opportunity, as you said, Eva, to just almost instantaneously be challenged, but also ushered into a new state of mind. And we
Yes.
want it to be that. We want to be refreshing and supportive. And we always are careful to tell people all activities are optional.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to participate, wonderful. We've never had a scenario where people didn't, but, come enjoy the environment. Take what you will from it to whatever threshold and whatever comfort you have.
Yeah.
And we really focus on hospitality. We know that food, we live, we learn, and that's a major player, as well as environment. And we pick our staffing for those pretty carefully too, with that in mind.
And also, not only is the food excellent, we always try to hire the best chefs. The one that's coming up in February is going to have a celebrity chef. Chef Amber's been on TV shows.
Yes.
So
Hell's
if you'd like to
Kitchen.
How
know,
can you top every time, right?
No guys sign up for this retreat, just women. So I can
So
have.
Scott,
That's right.
So we're
Just
excited
kidding.
to have Amber. And if you want to know more information, you can look on our website regarding the practitioners, the excellent practitioners whom are all coming, including Dr. Susan Amorose, and also the Kerschbaumers will be joining us with their excellent teachings on the retreat as well. And lots of other people will be having yoga again, and a wonderful sound healer from the area, and all kinds of, even this time we're even going to have some athletic type things like physical therapy is going to be there, and some workouts. And also there's a tennis court where
I
we're
was
going.
going to say.
So we can do some tennis and pickleball. Pickleball is really the craze right now. So I think we can even
Pickleball
do
is
that.
crazy. Pickleball. Have you played pickleball?
I have,
Okay. Susan, have you played pickleball?
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been playing pickleball?
just in and out for a couple of years.
First of all, it's annoying because of the whole scoring system. So if you're out there as a pickleball aficionado, whoever came up with the scoring system obviously had some dyslexia with a combination of volleyball, tennis, and something else, because it's just really crazy. That being said, it certainly is accessible to a lot of people.
Yes.
And it's
what is the fascination with it?
because it's so accessible. It's literally
Okay, what's the
You're-
difference between that and squash or the other ones? They also
Oh.
accessible.
squash The difference between pickleball and squash is if you're running to get the ball, you're not going to face plant yourself into a wall.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
the
maybe
main
that was
difference.
not a good idea. But so
So
what is the
that's
what's
just
another
one
one
move.
they do? That's not tennis. The other like the
There's
Paddle?
paddle tennis.
paddle.
And
like,
again,
right?
you're not going to face plant yourself into chicken wire. Because the
So
imprint
you
of
mean to
chicken
tell
wire
me-
on your face after playing paddleball, if you're really getting into it, absolutely will leave a mark. Not good.
I don't know. I don't get pickleball either. I don't understand.
I think one of the appeals of pickleball is the community aspect. People can play with all levels of athleticism.
Yeah.
So if I want to go play with my husband and have a nice, fun social evening, like pickleball is something I can do, whereas tennis would be a lot harder because we have such different levels. So I think that's one of the appeals. And it just tends to be a very social sport. People have made a lot of friends. And I wanted to bring that point up that the retreats, not only do we have all these amazing programs, but as you know, it's also a community builder. You make deep friendships. Like
That's true.
I got to know both of you so much more. I know you all sat together every night and like
Mhm.
really had a deep connection,
Yes.
which touched my heart.
It's a highlight for me.
Yes. And so look, now we're here going to do this and coming again. And it really is a way to build community. It's not just like we're going to go on this retreat and then we're going to go home and forget about it. It becomes part of your everyday experience and who you are and the connections that you make. So that's what we really want to do is build these communities of people who want to have these experiences that are healthy and enduring.
Yes.
enduring.
Well, and the other cool thing about it, at least from the experience of last year, and looking at what this upcoming 2026 event is going to be like, seems to be a little grander, but it was not pretentious at all. You know,
Yes,
Eva
I agree with that.
talks about, we've been to really fancy places in Italy, in Istanbul, in Israel, all over the place, Germany. And the word pretentious could be thrown out there for a lot of it. It's very she. You know, when you're just the simple act of walking into a hotel lobby, even if it's a small boutique hotel lobby, it's still a lobby with people in starch shirts that are doing a presentation and have obviously gone through training and whatnot to do that. But it is a different kind of environment. So when we walked in, the only people that were there to greet us were the other people that were attending. There was no front desk. There was no like set thing. It was very old school, Art Deco type of.
Yes.
Like you immediately think of this place was built in the 50s when Palm Springs was nothing. It was just a transit point on its way from LA to Las Vegas or whatever it was. So who knows what this place looks very cool coming up in 26. But the concept, it's not a hotel, so it doesn't have that built-in level of
Grandness.
I don't even know if grandness is a different word, but it's almost of like having a have or have nots. It's like there's a class of people that is there all the time to wait on you. And that was missing. Even though there are people that are there to provide services, it's not like there's a separate entire community of people that is just there to service. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I really appreciate that point. And this retreat will be similar vibe. It won't be. It's going to be the similar cadence, similar vibe, pretty much very similar to last year. The only difference really is the landscape is quite different.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why. So what happened was I felt like, and I love the Marley, and I love the way you just described it because it
It's
is
cool.
so like boho, like bohemian.
But you got to have the right attitude for that.
Yes, you do. So when we were there, the sound healer who is from Palm Springs and does a lot of retreats in the area, she told me, hey, you can do this really close by to here at one of these estates. We do, the same company also rents out estates in the area, so you can have the same feeling that you have here, but just a little bit more green spaces and more amenities and a little more spread out. If you want to consider looking into that, she told me she did a lot of those. So I did some research and I found this incredible estate called The Pond.
It is amazing.
It's gorgeous, but I still feel like it has a lot of that same feeling of old old rural Palm Springs, and we're still going to be surrounded by the same beautiful mountains. It's very close to the other place, but a little more protected. We have a gate and it's enclosed, and there won't be any staff like what you're saying that greets you at a front desk. It's going to be the same people, the same kind of independent feeling. If you do feel like doing something, you can. If you want to go take a hike somewhere, you can do that too. So it's going to be the same feeling as the other one, but just the actual site does look very grandiose. I do agree with you, but please don't be intimidated by that, because we're just going to be having a lot of low-key fun and making all the same connections as last year.
Very cool.
One thing that I forgot to mention, which is I love that, you were doing the Qigong classes.
Thank you.
I have access to you, which is probably, a lot of just even asking more questions.
Right.
That was for me, it was a unique, I heard about it, but
It is.
you're going to do it now. And I actually started like, okay, maybe what is this? But then you start liking it. You start feeling really good. I'm like, okay, this is, and then the access to you to ask more questions. Where do you get that?
That's one of our primary
that is the unique
focuses.
part about these sessions.
We kind of swap exclusivity for intimacy. We want everyone to be in community together and share meals, break bread together. The providers and the people who are participating on the end user side of it, and it gives people an opportunity to explore, as you said, Eva, from their personal experiences, to ask questions and to learn a little bit more about a particular practice, a particular technique, spa services, and so on. They have opportunity to actually personally connect. And I do think it serves as a great bonding opportunity and an opportunity to develop and evolve a greater understanding and knowledge, not just information, but knowledge around self-care practices.
And if it's a more relaxing setting that you're able to ask questions that you might be not able to on a sessions like that, I would come here, because
just a personal dialogue. And a lot of our providers will offer private sessions after the group ones too. If people are interested, if they want to delve further, they can take advantage of it right then and there, as opposed to promising themselves they'll put it on the calendar in the future.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of, I would call myself an alternative style learner. Like I do not program myself. I'm king of the procrastinators. I don't like lists. It's very difficult for me to make lists. And I'm thinking back when you were talking about pulling yourself out of being in the programming and learning more on a personal level. And immediately popped into my head two things. Two of my history teachers, one in high school and one in college. I learned more from them, and not just in history, but in everything, by hanging out with them at their houses outside of class.
That's such a good point.
So the one in high school is faculty housing, and just going up to their house later after classes and hanging out. There were several of us, which was amazing. And funny thing, they're Hungarian. Like, he literally was Hungarian and came over in '56. So like imprinted in my head. And then he was hilariously enthused when I showed up at a reunion with my wife from Hungary. He was like, Tamás Szilágyi. Szilágyi Tamás. And you met him, I think.
Yes.
And he was like, Scott. It was hilarious. And then in college, big gay black guy was this history teacher, but totally different in his outside of class than what he was in class. And just fascinating what you can learn in those type of settings. Again, open your minds to things and take all the information in. You never know where you're going to get little tidbits of life that will help. So just something to
That's a
throw in
really
there.
good point.
Yeah.
We don't want to, at Green Heiress, we always say you're your own healer. We're not here to heal you. We're here to help you find your self-empowerment and the tools that you have to help yourself. And we're just like everybody else. We have all kinds of issues too.
Yeah.
In fact, as you saw when you came in, I was in a boot. I hurt my
where's your
ankle.
boot?
I took my boot off.
Why'd
for
you
the
take your boot off?
for
You
the
shouldn't be walking
podcast.
without your boot.
Well, I took it off. But we all are vulnerable and we all
Yes.
are just people, you know, being here together on this earth, making sense of everything and trying to connect and heal ourselves and help each other to heal one another. But that's a big part of Green Heiress is just put your ego aside and just
Yes, that
be human.
that was the words I was looking, was just so everybody was not like, I'm the best at what I do, but I'm here to share.
Yes.
It's about, it
yeah,
really is
it
about
was really
sharing.
cool. Yes,
Yeah,
that is the
and
perfect way to put it.
creating some kind of reciprocal loop. You know,
Yes.
feedback is really important to us. We're always trying to grow and elevate what we produce and what we give. And we see ourselves as much as learners as we ever would leaders or voices and instructors. And I think that level of humility serves the environments that we curate, and people are at home. We at least hope for that. And I think people, I believe, they heal and evolve in connection. You know, when they are relaxed and able to identify in community, even if it's a loosely structured one, even if
Yeah.
it's a temporary one, while on retreat, I think we really are able to resolve a lot because we help each other, even when we may not be intentionally doing that, just the connectivity. Because in the modern world, we could all tell our stories. It gets harder and harder to find a space to do that.
But the thing about this is, and this is why I think that humans will never be replaced by computers. No matter how fast of a quantum computer you have, the difference between humans and computers is you can have that leap. A computer, even if you have quantum computing on it, how can it make a leap between talking about water and in a glass or a cup or making coffee, and then all of a sudden it makes me think of something, and I'm talking about a 1964 convertible that has a problem with the radiator because this made me think about water issues with that, which may lead you to come up with an idea of how to fix that car, which may lead to something else. So it's those leaps that don't make any sense that really define, I think, what makes us special. Because it's in those times where you come up with the new thing that hasn't been tried yet and will never be tried if you don't have the capability to just, somebody's going to interpret this way, you're going to interpret it that way, and we're going to come up with something completely new that way, which I don't care how fast a computer can get, it can't do it because it's not linear.
It's so true, Scott. We have these beautiful, masterful, adaptive, creative intelligences, and we're in connection. We create a larger, what they called the trend for a long time, mastermind. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's in that connectivity where we amplify our results. They aren't the sum of the parts. It's actually greater than that. And there's a lot of great science now that backs that up because we have the tools and devices to measure it. But I think you're hitting upon something that's very much a part of healing and resolving issues, finding solutions to problems, or just adapting in a way that serves us better.
I feel like the world has become so individualistic and isolated.
But COVID did that. COVID changed everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you brought up community that took us away from having the ability to have these bursts of consciousness with somebody else and stuck everybody in their own little box.
Yes.
To everybody's detriment.
Right. It is to everyone's detriment, and all these algorithms and all the things that go on behind the scenes, we don't know. But just to have organic connections with people, I think people are really craving that community and, where
Spontaneity where we can have it.
The only weird one that, and this is totally off the subject, is going to the movies. in a movie theater. That hasn't come back. Because if you think about it, it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws, right? Which was the first big blockbuster, created a whole genre. But part of the reason Jaws was such a big deal, or Star Wars, or any seminal movie, motion picture, is because you saw it all together in a giant theater with hundreds of other people when you first saw it. If you're a kid, you're 12 years old, and your parents take you to see Jaws, and you're in a dark theater, and dun 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 dun, and the music and everything else, it's infinitely more scary than if you're sitting there watching it on your television in your living room. Even if it's just you, because everybody's jumping at the same time, everybody's having the reactions at the same time, and for whatever reason, people just aren't going back to movie theaters. They're not having that same community experience of it. And I think it's to our detriment, because you talk to young people now, there's no, I'm always a movie quoter. I'm always quoting movies and things like that. And I call them water cooler conversations, right? And to the fact that young people don't even know what water cooler conversation is, like as a phrase. What are you talking about? What is that? I'm like, when you go into work and everybody's there on Monday and you're talking around the water cooler about what you saw on Saturday Night Live, or what you saw last week because everybody watched the same shows at the same time, and then Friends, MASH, Saturday Night Live, Cosby Show, Thursday night viewing. You didn't stream these things at whenever you felt like streaming them. You had to watch them at those times. You could VCR them, but you still watched them at the same time, basically, and then had a conversation about them. And it's water cooler. Again, it's that social interaction. And we're so disjointed now, and everybody's on their own time frame. Nobody has that, to the point that you don't even know what the phrase is that means you're going to have a conversation together.
I think we get TV'd out, Netflix and all that stuff.
But you can interpret that into everything.
That's why this retreat is great, because I think with COVID we watched too much television, and now it's about there's a lot of pain and all this craziness going on. We need to heal ourselves or help each other. And so I think what I see from my clients, they love to go to yoga more than a movie theater. They're gonna take, like you guys said, tennis and all those more with their family instead of sitting in front of the television,
which is great.
To movie. My young employees are value more if I give them a free yoga session somewhere than before a movie theater ticket. Like we used to give employees like little gifts. They would just rather.
All employees were now giving yoga sessions instead of pay, just so you know. I'm letting you know that now.
This is where these retreats could be amazing, because I see where you think about the movie not coming back. As far as I'm concerned, I'm TV'd out. I'd rather do.
I'm not talking about it as the movie thing. I'm just talking about being together in a group of people, having an experience together.
Yeah.
That's what it's more about.
It's an experience of like a scary movie or whatever, but together, what like this retreat will do, it had such a. When you have goosebumps, like I had that last time in Jerusalem.
She used to call them goose pimples, by the way.
Okay. The whole time we were there, you get that energy from people. That constant, when it was like good energy, it was that.
I love that.
You just had such a vibe of everything is taken care of. We will get the juice when we're ready. Our next session is this time, and it was just good. You don't have to think what's next, what are we going to do, what we need to sightseeing. It's just about us.
Except for the Skytram. And I will say that the Skytram
haunts Scott to this day.
Well, here's the cool thing about the Skytram. I didn't even think about going to Palm Springs. Palm Springs is so cool because it literally is in a big barrel or a big bowl surrounded by mountains. And these are not little mountains. These are like 9,000-foot mountains that are a mile away. And I'm way down here at not 8,000, 9,000 feet, and there's a big mountain that's 9,000 feet that's a mile away. It's very unique in terms of just the topography and geology. And the other cool thing is like the whole place is owned by the Indians, this agua caliente, hot water Indians, owns all the land and the mountain. Very cool. So
Good energy there too.
yeah,
That's
it's really, really fascinating that you don't realize. I never realized. I mean, I've heard about Palm Springs forever, but never knew that. So it's that in itself is a fairly unique experience, and it takes a while for the sun to get over the mountains. So when you're having sunrise, yeah, the sun's up and it's blue sky, but the sun isn't up because it's still behind a 9,000-foot mountain that's over there. And same thing at sunset. It's pretty cool. So
Yes, so the topography is sort of like a character
Yeah.
at the retreat, and I love that. The mountains are they just have so much beautiful energy. So I'm really glad you
you
brought
know
that
what you
up.
need? We need to get someone from the tribe
Oh,
to come give a little presentation.
I like that. I like that.
That's what we need to
fantastic idea.
add,
I
just
love
in
that.
terms of a
Mhm.
like historical thing about the location.
That's
We
a
will
wonderful
work on
idea.
that.
cool.
I love that idea, Scott. And also, we just really like to hear people's feedback. Like, what do you want? What do you want at this retreat? We want to hear from you. We want to meet people where they are. So we always have a survey at the end, like what worked, what didn't work, what we need to see more of. And what you saying that to us is such a fabulous idea.
It'd be
I'm
cool.
sure we'll be talking about it at a retreat meeting. on
Well,
Friday.
because if you think about it, and this goes for any place, Pittsburgh. Why did people settle in Pittsburgh? Obviously, because the rivers. There's a point. It's a
Right.
strategic location. Great, and that goes before the English, back to the French, when the Indians. Everybody. That's just how it works on. But you go to some towns, and you're like, why is this a town? Why does this exist? So to get it straight from the horse's mouth of somebody from that actual tribe, and there's so much history that's passed down verbally that's not written down, that we may not have access to find out why here. What was the thing? Are there hot springs? Is there something we don't know about? Why there?
So interesting. I'm definitely going to look into that very, very much. I hope you get to go on the Sky Tram this
Oh, no.
time.
That's why I brought it up. We will be going. There will be scheduled programming Skytram to go. What
went wrong last
Well,
night?
what, and Brandon can attest to this. What went wrong? Brandon's over in the corner. We hit him in the corner. So we did not know that you couldn't just show up and get on the tram. You had to pre-purchase tickets.
That's another thing that changed now. This whole
Well, COVID did change that. Everything is now predetermined. You can't just. Life is no longer just walk up and do it.
Yeah.
Very depressing,
Or-
because for somebody who just approaches life as a walk up and do it kind of thing, which is much more enjoyable because you never know what's going to happen, you have to program your life now, and I hate it. It's terrible.
So what happened when you?
So
went
we
up?
walked up like to go, and the guy's like, "Oh, well, you can buy tickets for the whatever time that's
Next year?
2 hours from now to get on." I'm like, "But there are people getting on now." I was like, "Well, yeah, they bought tickets like earlier in the day."
Oh my
Like,
goodness. Yes. Well, you did make it back in time for the sound healing.
Well, right,
So
because
I
we
was
only
happy.
could. It was
How cool was
Yeah.
that? Everybody in the blankets. The star. First of all, we haven't
stars.
start talking about the stars. There's no clouds there.
There are a lot of stars in Palm
See
Springs.
Stars.
Not on the ground, in
And
the
then
sky.
we were just
You don't have the
in
light
these yoga
pollution.
mats and just these blankets and the sound, and everybody was silent. It was just this amazingness. Such a healing moment. Truly, it was very, very, very cool experience, and I take it as a gift that I was able to be there and receive it. And I'm a huge fan, and I promote you guys as much as I can. This was really cool.
Well, to that end, so a lot, and we talked about this earlier in terms of this is different in terms of trying to peel away the onions of, because everybody wants a silver bullet today, particularly in healthcare, right? Everybody wants to look younger. Boom. I'm going to inject myself with weapons-grade botulism toxin. And we had somebody that wanted to do like a Botox party. I'm like, can I go get like a pet farm of small little pigs that people have to walk through to come into the Botox? They're like, why would you do that? I was like, because that's where the Botox comes from. It's weapons-grade botulism toxin. So if you have a little pig farm that you have to walk through, it's just where it's coming from. That's all right. I thought it was hilarious, but they didn't quite agree with me. But that being the case, so peeling away the layer of the onion, a lot of the Qigong, the yoga, what Ava's going to be doing in terms of her consultations, the biohacking and stuff, it's a lot of it is reflection. A lot of it is just making you think about yourself, and to try to find a way out of whatever box you're in, right? So, I mean, that's because I never had done any. My experience with that is basically the Karate Kid and yes, Daniel son, wax on, wax off, and stuff. That's my Qigong experience
How do
until
you
I go to
pronounce
that.
it?
No one would ever know. It's pronounced in a variety of ways.
Well, what is the correct?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to butcher it, you know?
It just depends. Some people put more of a Japanese slant on
Okay.
it, like Scott does, and then the Chinese side of it would be Qigong.
Qigong,
Yeah,
not Qigong.
but people say it that way as
Okay.
well.
Okay, so it's
it depends
acceptable.
if they refer to vital life force as Qi or Ki or Kui. It's fine.
See, this is so cool. Like, we're able to ask these with you, and even in those retreat, that's so
You say
cool.
tomato, I say tomato.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. It's fun to share all of this. You had mentioned vibes. We've really made vibes our thing. That's our currency at Green Heiress. We want to set tone. We want to give people access to literally specific frequencies which suit their needs, whatever their needs for healing are. I would like to hear, and I'm sure the audience at home would, a little bit about your offerings for our retreat that's coming up in February.
So I really wanted to give everybody a facial, but I also wanted to take part of
I'm
the
not letting
retreat.
her do that
So
because she would be doing
I
nothing
just
but
think-
giving facials for the entire thing.
I do think that a lot of time my strength is consultation and get to know what is it you need, because this industry it's extremely saturated, and what your perception is of a facial and
Let me
what
rephrase that. I'm suggesting that you don't do that because if I would say I'm not letting you, that's a totally different phrase. So I'm suggesting that you don't do that.
Thanks
So
for
I
correction.
just wanted to.
Very yin.
I
Throw
was
that out there.
wondering when you're going to realize that. I love to help to guide you what is, I went to school for it. So what I see and how you feel. One of the things that I always ask people, like, if I could just do this, what would I could change about your skin? And it's almost every single time is different than what I would change about the skin.
Isn't
It's
that
really
you learn so much
different.
about the person in that
It's really
question.
different how you see yourself. And what is the main things that you see yourself and what's bothering you about your skin, or just not feel comfortable with, or when people say to me, "Oh, you're so popular," they come because they need an advice. Hey, I always get breakouts here, or I don't know about my coloring, or my texture of my skin is just different than it used to be, or I don't know about my under circles, or whatever that is. I just want to give the variety of option that is out there, and then you make a decision. If it's your budget, if it's your timing, there's lots of things to do, and that's my strength to help to get to you. Obviously, I'm very good at what I do, but that is just my way. So there is lots of other techniques out there, and I say to people, if you think that this 11 is making you suicidal, then go get Botox, because there is you deserve to feel good about yourself and happy. And if you're okay with that, we find out what is made out of, and you're okay with what's in it, and it's going to be going on your skin and blah blah blah, then go and do it. And
Just have a little
I will
BLT
recommend
for
people to
lunch.
you who I suggest. But that's my strength. So that's what I would like to do, and also show some cool techniques in a retreat. And people were able to ask me, if you want to bring all your skincare with you, and then we go through it, or whatever that is.
I think that's fantastic.
I'm happy to do. I'm big on ingredients and dissecting it.
You
a
were
lot of-
big on ingredients when no one was really talking about that.
and a
20
lot
plus
But it's such a
years
big
ago.
thing because, and it's an unusual thing because if we are inundated with ads, and ads are by brands. Ads are not paid for or put on by ingredients. They're paid for and put on by brands. So the brands are marketing themselves.
It's a business.
Yeah, and what ends up happening, particularly in America, is you have the training is done by the brands in most cases, like 90% of the cases for any spas around. And it has become kind of corporate with massage envy and all these different things. But it's not necessarily like people who know the difference between ingredients. It's all they know are these brands that they are being indoctrinated
And
on.
the training is provided
And the
by
training
the brand,
is provided by the brand.
which is really part of the
So
sales.
it one begets each other, and nobody's taking the time to look at what's inside each of these things that's making this thing either work or not work. And she, because of how she grew up, running around in fields with her grandmother, I mean, talk about the Indian reservations, same thing, natural healing, where they're using mud packs and using these herbs and everything else. That's what Eva did with her grandma. That's her background.
That's
is
fascinating.
from. And then coming over here, we were fortunate enough to meet some manufacturers, little small mom and pop, and chemists, who really gave us a lot of insight into that she's the national trainer for that particular brand. But again, it's not because of the brand. So she knows really in detail about the ingredients. And some of them are patented and come go by a trade name, like Matraxyl and stuff, which are a peptide. But that's an ingredient. Matraxyl is just the brand name for what that ingredient is. So, I'm sorry to hijack it.
No. It's great.
You're hitting on
Those are good, and people are savvy, because you could Google it, you could see it, and there's much more information because of the phone, and I think that's so great. So that's what I would like to offer, and hopefully
That's
I could
wonderful.
do a benefit, and people be able to ask more questions that maybe they are too shy or not really during their technicians' hours when they go to a facial or they about nail or body treatments or massages or anything. So that would be awesome.
Well, super grateful to have you and your
I'm very
expertise at our
excited.
retreat. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
So what about you, Scott? Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing.
I'm just entertaining the troops.
Never just.
Never just. That's so important.
Shows will be at 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. We do it on a rotating basis.
You are very good at light therapies. You have a lot of insights on that, and I think you should
Alternative
educate.
therapies, but a lot of that came from because Dad had Parkinson's and Dad had a stroke, and Dad was always and same thing with about supplements too. Dad was always taking this vitamin, that vitamin, and he had vibration plates that he would be on, and doing all kinds of stretching and all kinds of things. And then the more he progressed in the Parkinson's, the more we started finding out more about different things. And Dad was always before his time, but he was always talking about frequencies and for this and it. So between light therapy and their different frequencies of light do different things, and then sound healing. We're the only ones in Pennsylvania that have this sound bed. This particular sound bed that we have that uses different frequencies, and there are other places that have like harmonic egg is another version of this, or life vessel is another version, but they're very claustrophobic because you're in a container with them. So if you have any kind of claustrophobia, it's really difficult to get the benefits of that because you're in a casket, for lack of a better word, or a round casket that the harmonic egg is. So what we have is just in an open room. You should come down and take a look at it because it's very cool.
Love to.
And then we have the red light, and then the vibration plate therapy that we have, which was created by NASA back in the 60s to help with bone density in a weight loss environment. And Russian cosmonauts use this as well. It oscillates at different things. So basically, the short story of that is, if you have the right machine, 10 minutes on the machine is equal to walking a mile.
Yes.
Wow.
So, which is great, because if you don't have just the time to walk a mile, then you take 10 minutes and boom, you're done with that. And then PEMF, the piezoelectric magnetic field therapy as well. We'll be doing that, which is basically just like giving a little defibrillator to your individual cells to get the mitochondria to produce more ATP and turn them on and stuff like that. So and then supplements. So we can talk about the supplements, when you talk about the Wild West in skincare,
Yeah,
supplements, oh my God, with vitamins, that's
It's
even,
overwhelming.
yeah, you've gone beyond the Wild West in when you get into supplements. It's crazy. And it's not cheap. You can spend a fortune on vitamins and not have anything
or just
good
half of
come
it is
out of it.
filler in there.
Yeah, I
not
mean,
even
like
actually.
Centrum, you're just peeing it out. So to find good supplements is really difficult, but they can make a difference. I just literally found some stuff and ordered it. It will be in later this week, called the Super Patch, which uses VTT technology and uses neurological type training to put a patch on you to train your brain because the most powerful drug anybody has is
How
your
does
brain.
it breaking down?
It doesn't break down. It uses it's like an imprint on a neural stimulator type thing to work the brain to work on that particular, whether it's sleep, whether it's focus, whether it's Susan's nodding her head, so she's heard about these patches and VTT therapy. So I got a whole bunch of them coming. They'll be here this week. So
I can't
I'm
wait to
excited.
try.
I'm leaning forward here. Yeah, I'm excited.
gonna try these out and see how they are, and see I didn't even tell you about that yet. So
Yeah.
because it's like here's another thing.
Well, I liked how you're always on the cutting edge of all kinds of
stuff.
things.
But again, these things have been around forever. Like the light therapy. There's his name is Dinesh, and I can't remember his last name, but the book is out of print that was made in like the 1950s.
Wow.
That goes through all the different wavelengths and how they can work on different parts of the body and healing and whatnot. It's really fascinating stuff. So this is not, again, none of this is really new. It's overlooked a lot of times because it can't be patented because it's naturally occurring. So there's no way for one person or group to make a ton of money on it. So, always look at the genesis of where things come from and who's promoting it. And like I said, get all the information before you actually buy it.
Well, it sounds fascinating. I'm so glad you'll be part of the retreat doing this program. Susan, can you tell us a little bit? You helped me with the programming and the itinerary. What a day is going to look like in the retreat. It's going to be pretty much like we did before. We want to keep that same intimacy and the same size and cadence that we had that you love so much that helped feel like an intimate retreat. So we're going to do the same thing. But what would a typical day be like?
A typical day would start with some form of sunrise yoga, and we typically try to provide more than one yoga instructor or an instructor that offers more than one form of yoga, so it's adaptable for beginners or people who are well practiced. We offer Qigong, which is a flow practice, a meditative practice, also very specifically a therapeutic.
Can I do it in the hot tub again?
You can do whatever you want.
Excellent.
You like that hot tub. We have another hot tub at the new place.
Qigong in the hot tub is a whole new thing. I might patent that.
You may. I was just going to say, you might get a trademark on that.
Yes, we have it. We have another pool and another hot tub and all the fun stuff and fire pit.
And then we would offer content, and that content comes via, when I say workshop, it's typically an intimate, relaxed, low-key experience where people can delve into a self-exploration that would provide them keener insights on themselves, patterns they may be trying to dissolve or improve based on personal goals. We like to work along relationships, the way by which people connect to themselves and connect to environments, and to do so from a point of view which is very empowering and enriching for them. That's truly a focus of all the content we're providing. We will have on site this upcoming retreat in Palm Springs a therapist, somebody who has decades of experience in working with small groups, and working with couples and individuals. And they will be offering experiences which are collective and private. We will have personal trainers, many exercise classes, and as Eric had mentioned earlier, access to recreational activities. Whether you're sporty or not, there's something there for everybody. And do please plan to take advantage of the environment. And much in Palm Springs is actually free. You can take a walk in the desert and visit Joshua Tree and come away forever changed in the best possible way. And you can also connect, as you had said earlier, to these beautiful mountains.
Skytram.
Skytram. And you can do it at the base, you can do it at the top, and anything in between.
People put out their fruits out so in baskets so you could just take it. That was so amazing to me.
Yeah, when we were walking around the neighborhood.
Grapefruit and oranges, like I was so taken by that. It was just so kind.
It's a beautiful part of the world for many reasons.
It was amazing. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
I
love
please.
that. I wouldn't even thought of that, but it's so true, and it's part of the atmosphere. We also offer meals, snacks, and the ability for people to find downtime where they can just enjoy one another's company around a fire pit or under an umbrella. They can explore some of the experiences they've had and make connections with providers of those, or just with other people who are retreatants if they care to.
What do we call them? Retreatants?
Retreatants.
Retreatants. Oh, it's a new word. I'm just going to start. Are you a retreatant?
I'm actually a
Fancy that
retreatee.
about.
A retreatant.
Yeah, but it was so many people were journaling. It was so cool
Yeah.
to see.
And Susan always brings journals, so
It
graciously passes them to
I
everybody.
love that.
Mhm.
It
I'm so
was
glad for that
very,
feedback.
very cool. And, I started because of that retreat.
Oh, that's great.
It truly
Oh,
is
I love that.
amazing.
Yeah, people have to have a space and a way by which to be at least introduced to processing their experiences, right? Yeah, and that just supports.
So, are you still doing the journal?
Yes.
I love
Wow.
that.
Sometimes it's just only like a couple sentences,
It's okay.
but the dates are always there. And as I looking back, you just
Yeah.
see things and, about yourself, how you feel that day and what you're looking for the next, whatever it is you want to share with yourself
Yeah.
or wanting to shed off maybe,
I love that you continued that practice because the retreat doesn't end when the retreat's over. Our
And I
hope
want to
is
remember things too,
Yeah.
going.
If you're doing it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing thing. I mean, Susan would always have, after the retreat, you can connect with her and work. I'm sure,
Continue
you
to
can
work
find
together.
you all at esSpa. And so it's not just like we go and we have fun and then we leave. This is like a life transforming
That's
opportunity.
The word, Erica, is transformation.
Mhm.
We know that energy can never be destroyed. It's perpetuating. The only thing it does is transforms. And the way by which we process is another way of saying, how are we transforming this experience, this challenge, this resistance, this joy, whatever it is. I think as humans, we're always looking to play a role in leading that transformation or coping with transformation that we haven't necessarily led. And the way by which to do that is to find healthy, supportive, alternative ways in many cases to participate in processing. Journaling is one of them. Walking, meditation, the spa and healing services you're talking about, and each of us is bringing to the table allows for that. And that's what our overarching goal is for these experiences, both in Palm Springs and from our individual spaces here in Aspenwell.
Well, and that is, I mean, like the biohacking stuff that we have at the spa and the things you have here, we are not really doing anything that you don't already have access to. We're just unlocking them.
Very well put.
Helping you unlock them.
Yeah.
And it's not us that we don't have the keys. The keys are you already have all the keys. You people out there have all the keys. We're just assisting you in
Yes.
turning the key.
I love that. And here we all are together in Aspenwell. It's an interesting
Right.
place, right? Right near the river.
There are no accidents.
No accidents. It's so lovely to be with you all. I know we're about almost at our hour
Thank
mark.
you so much.
This
I'm
was so much fun.
so
Thank
happy
you.
you all came over today.
This
And-
isn't the only one, though. We're going to continue this
Great.
on a regular basis. So if you
Okay.
liked what we were talking about today, tune in. Are we going to do this weekly, or what are we going to do?
Oh, well, I'm open to see what you all want to do.
All right, so we'll try this weekly and see how it goes. So 12:30 on Wednesdays, is what we're going to end up doing. So we'll be here next week for Food for Thought.
Wonderful. I'm
with
excited.
Erica, Susan, Scott, and Eva. So tune in and find out what we're going to talk about next week. It could be more interesting than today.
Thank
Some
you.
I bet it will be with you, Scott.
But seriously, if you have any information that you want to share with us, any personal questions, send them over. DM us, email us, call us on the phone, smoke signals, carrier pigeon, whatever works. And we will be sure to try to get back with you with some information that may help you, or bring it up next week if you want to open it up for discussion. Because like computers said, computers can't think outside the box. We can. Check out Green Heiress for the retreat 2026. It's in February.
February 12th to February
12th.
GHretreats.com.
That's it. And come over onto Commercial Avenue. Check out everything that is here on this wonderful building. All kinds of wonderful things.
And
going
where
on
do
over
we
here.
find you and Eva, Scott?
We're down Alley A on Brilliant.
Yes.
Over, and Eva is there more often than she should not be, but we're open every day. That's the cool thing about us. And we have 27 employees,
Wow.
professional therapists and whatnot, working hard at work to make everybody look and feel better. So
Thank you.
esSpa.net.
Thank you.
2 S's.
Thank you, guys.
I so
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you.
you all.
This was fun.
Thanks
Feel
so
better.
much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.